Hey good looking, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be going over all of the magnetic eyeshadow palettes that I own and features to each of those palettes, and you can decide whether they're a pro or a con. So if this sounds like a video that's up your alley, then stay tuned because we'll be getting into it. And believe you me when I say we got a lot, folks. We got a lot. Actually, several of those were the same type of palette, but you understand my drift. Kendra Morgan official here. I like to put out content centered around single eyeshadows, makeup brushes that aren't Morphe, and sunscreen. Oh, and that's starting soon. So soon, folks, soon. Okay, the first eyeshadow palette, it's going to be my #1 top recommend eyeshadow empty magnetic palette, and that is going to be, drumroll please, Makeup Geek. I absolutely love these. Okay, so we've got clear see-through top. It is a hard case. It is plastic, so it is not recyclable. Soft matte backing, which makes it easy to get dirty, but it is very aesthetically pleasing. It's the same type of material that the NARS, it's that soft velvet matte. And let's see. Oh, and the magnetic, the actual magnetic, what am I thinking of? You know what I'm talking about. The actual magnetic portion is probably about medium. Like the magnetic field strength is probably about medium, I would say. Like it's not really, really strong, but it's not super, super weak either. So I would say it's about medium strength. Overall, just a #1 recommend in my book. I'm going to link also down below my referral code. So if you've never purchased Makeup Geek before and you're looking to purchase, say, this Megavolt palette that holds 28 shadows, then you can use my referral code and you will save $10, and you also give me a coupon as well. They do have a 9-pan and then the 4-pan that is see-through window. The 9-pan does not have a see-through option. It is just one of these bad boys right here. So just taking that into consideration. And then the 4-pan, they do have, this actually happens to be a highlighter, but you get the drill. Like they do have these available to purchase singly. And that's all this literally is the highlighter was put into the pan glued. And yeah, you could pop the pan out and then put the sticker on the back of it, and now you've got an empty magnetic palette. You do have to lay down a magnetic strip because it won't come with it. Let's talk about the AliExpress and or Amazon ones. Not going to be a recommend, by the way, because this one was $9, and generally speaking, AliExpress finds, this holds some of my Luxie shadows. AliExpress, generally speaking, because they don't use marketing, and the way that they market kind of cuts down the overhead cost, you can generally figure on spending $1 to every $2 that you would in a brick and mortar or a site that has marketing to it. So if that makes any sense, like, Natasha Denona, that's not a good example. You know what I'm talking about though. Any of those, you can expect to pay a little bit more because you are paying for marketing. Let's be real honest here. It does get passed on to the consumer. This, I expected to pay $9 and get something that was equivalent to the Makeup Geek Megavolt eyeshadow palette. It is not. This thing is so flimsy right here, but it is see-through, so I can see my shadows. It's weaker than the Makeup Geek, but it is not the weakest one that I own. It's huge. It will stack. I guess I should probably say Makeup Geek will hold 26, 28 shadows. I'll put it right here what it actually holds. And they're square 1 inch or square or circular 26 millimeter, which is approximately 1 inch. This holds a lot. I think it's 35 or 48, something like that, but you do stagger them if you want to do it that way. It'd be a 32, but I think it's probably a 48 if you staggered. I don't like staggering my shadows, but it's somewhere close to that. I haven't filled this up yet. I should probably find out how many it owns. Not going to be recommend. This is cardboard backing right here, so I guess this would be recyclable. Everything except the plexiglass. It gets dirty really easily. It's actually just scratched. This is another AliExpress find. This one houses my Give Me Glow, my unicorn, electric unicorn, plus my 2 like mega shadows. And it's really nice. It's kind of a travel one. This is like a faux leather, and it's a cute little design. It was like $4 though. And for $4, I feel like I can shop on Shop Miss A. I can get it under 6 weeks. My order will come here in less than 6 weeks. And I just feel like the value for the money wasn't really quite there. But again, another AliExpress option out there for you. I can link this down below, but I think I got it about 3 years ago. So it may not be around, actually. Let's talk about one that a lot of people probably already own, and that is the ColourPop palettes. And those are found on the ColourPop website. They have medium strength, medium to upper strength on their magnetic pan, or their magnetic field on the magnetic strip. You don't get a mirror. Oh, I should probably be talking about some of these, whether you get a mirror or not. This one doesn't come with a mirror, which I actually really appreciate, but some people don't, so that's why you just gotta make your own decisions. Though obviously the ones that have see-through lids don't have a mirror. And then the 9-pan Makeup Geek Shadow palette does have a mirror. It comes with a mirror. There we go, we're caught up now. This right here holds, let's see, 4 times 6 would be 24. This holds 24. They're all Dress Right dress, and this puppy doesn't come with a mirror, so that means there's no chance of anything shattering into your shadows, contaminating them, and then therefore making you have to throw the shadows away. So that's why I definitely can appreciate something like this. The drawback to it is you really don't get to choose the design of the palettes. It's kind of what they have on hand at that time. And so you might get to choose between 1 or 2 different patterns, but that's really it. You're not going to get like a black one or a white one or a pink one. You're just going to have to choose what they've got on hand. And it just happens to be whatever's trending, you know, for that time period. All right, next. I want to talk about the Coastal Scents eyeshadow palettes. I have both the large Freedom, the small Well, and the small Freedom palette. So the Freedom gives you the freedom to pick and choose where you place shadows, and these have specific wells. If I can just stop blinding you, you can see them in there. Okay, so this one's magnetic field is very, very, very weak, unfortunately. The eyeshadow palettes themselves, when you buy them on sale, however, are an extremely affordable price. They're like $4.95 for this big one right here. I think it houses 48 if you stagger, and if you don't, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 3, 6, 7, 8, so 5 times 8, so 40 this away, you know, if it's Dress Right dress. If you stagger, it's 48, I believe. Yeah, they shift around really easily, so just keep that in mind. You know, you're kind of getting what you pay for, right? They have a see-through, so this is definitely for the visually appealing audience, or for somebody like me. I have ADHD, and so for me, out of sight, out of mind. If I don't see my shadows, they don't exist, kind of that thing. I really can appreciate a see-through lid on mine. It's very, very flimsy, cheap plastic, not as flimsy as the AliExpress one, but it is chintzy in the sense that I did get one that came broken already, so I just keep the film on it and it's fine. But, you know, for the price point, when you can get them on sale, regularly priced, they're $9.95. When you get them on sale, like these were like $2.95, I think. And I use these all the time to mix and match shadows and palettes, because it really does give you that freedom that you so desire when you're, you know, taking pictures for the gram and all that good jazz. So those are a recommend. Actually, I love the Coastal Scents, and I plan to buy more. However, they're mostly for storage, not for travel. I don't recommend traveling with them. They're not travel friendly at all. Don't travel with them. They would probably break. Brings me up to my next one, and that is the A2O Studio, the Shop Miss A eyeshadow palettes. These are the 9-pans. I wasn't able to get a hold of any of the 24 or 26 eyeshadow pan palettes that they had, but I did grab a bunch of 9-pans, and these house my Glam Shop shadows, so I've got a bunch of those in there. You get a lot of different designs to choose from, so that's nice. And I'll just start telling these. They do have different edgings here, different colors, so they might help you be, you know, aesthetically pleasing. If you're a content creator or you like to post pictures on the gram, they can be extremely useful for that. They travel well. They do come with a mirror, so keep that in mind. If you were going to put like a 9-pan of, say, holographic eyeshadows in one of these, I would be very, very careful, because this is cardboard. Even though it is recyclable, it's cardboard, so this could break. And if it broke, all of your, 9 holographic shadows. I'm trying to think of like really expensive, or like let's say you had some Cleona stained glass shadows that were kind of pricey. You broke that, you can guess the next step, right? So here they are. I got several. These aren't Glam Shop. These are actual Shop Miss A shadow singles that you can buy. But that is an option. I do know that they came out with a large and a small 9-pan shadow palette without the mirror. It sold out like boom, boom, boom. So I think if I had to guess and predict the climate for the Shop Miss A, they're probably trying to order palettes without mirrors because they see that that's what's in demand. That's my prediction. You should not hold me to it. It's just completely a theory, hypothesis, whatever you want to call it. Here's another Freedom palette by Coastal Scents. And so that's a really great option if you travel, and or if you just have smaller amounts of shadows, or you want to stage for pictures and the like. And I got a bunch of these to stage for my pictures on Instagram. Also, when I put 9-pan palettes together and I'm duping shadow palettes and duping the vibes, it's kind of nice to be able to, matchy things. So that's always great. I have here the traditional Z palette. I think that we all probably own one of these at least. This one is a medium or a large, and then they have an extra large, which might be even bigger. This right here holds, so there's going to be another row and another row. Plus 9 is 15. So I think 15, and then if you staggered, it might be 24. But don't hold me to it. It might be 20. I'm not sure exactly. I've never filled one of these things up. Don't particularly care for this too much because the value for what you get seems a little bit disconnected to me. It's a little bit on the chintzy side, like as far as you're able to hold and pull this all the way back. Feels very flimsy. It's wearing down pretty quickly. This is getting really dirty. Although it's not getting scratched, it is getting dirty, but that's not the palette's fault, obviously. This pattern right here is what I had to choose from when I went into my Ulta store. I don't particularly care for the design. I would just rather have like a black or a white, just something kind of, well, actually, I would like it to be conducive of what the rim on the inside looks like. So since this is black, I would just prefer to have a black palette after this, because I have, held this up, and if you see on the sides the pink, it just doesn't look as clean and professional to me. But that's just me. That's not for like the everyday user. Everyday user, you'd probably be fine, unless you just don't like pink. Then you might be, thinking otherwise. And then probably one that I get asked about the most is going to be my Sydney Grace palettes. I do have the 9-pan. I don't know where it's at. These all, okay, look, this one's gonna be a little hard. I love Sydney Grace, right? Love Sydney Grace. But their eyeshadow palettes, that's about medium on the magnetic. But even the large one has a mirror. It's not a full-size mirror, but the mirror actually goes out quite a ways. And so it's very heavy, it's very bulky, and also it doesn't have a clear see-through lid because of the mirror. It houses shadows in a staggered formation. You could stack them, but then you'll have a unusually large side that sticks out, and then you'd have to, center your shadows or however you do it. I see most people, and it doesn't go back also. I see most people, like when they line their shadows up, they'll start in a corner and then just go down, and then there will be this huge margin where you can't fit another shadow in it. I prefer to center my shadows just so it's more aesthetically pleasing that way. But the Sydney Grace, they're okay. Magnetic wise, they're medium strength, medium to, strong. I don't love them. I do like the packaging, that it comes with and the design, but I will say this one came in broke, and I'm housing my Terra Moons until I get some of them moved over here within the next day or two to the 9-pan Shop Miss A palettes, but it came broken, like right out the get-go. Well, it's not broken, but it's piercing through the paper. So there's that. you know, I'm just not a huge proponent of having a mirror in a magnetic eyeshadow palette. I've never really known very many people to, you know, sit here, use an eyeshadow palette and, you know, use the mirror on it. So for me, not really one of my strengths that I look for in an empty magnetic palette. I will say I like its overall really good quality. If you need something that travels, then yeah, pick up the 9 pan, and this one I believe is a 15 pan maybe. I have to double check on that one, but you know, again, you're gonna be, I think you have to stagger them. No, you don't have to stagger them. They will fit in their dress right dress, so that's super nice. But, well, not necessarily, because you've got a little lip down here that's not gonna quite, it's not gonna quite fit in there, you know, nice and snug like these would fit in there. These fit in there extremely nice and snug, and it looks very, very pretty, you know, all that jazz. This one doesn't, but the 9 pan Sydney Grace one does. All right, guys, that wraps up. I hope I helped you out in deciding which empty magnetic palette you'd like to choose for your next single eyeshadow purchase. Let me know in the comments down below which eyeshadow palette you plan on picking up for your next purchase. And I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Bye!